Warning: the following content may not be suited for younger or sensitive audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Anyway, so it's been like a day. It's been a singular day. You guys are still at each other's house. The funeral's over. It is kind of a more solemn mood, per se. Um, and Zill, so it's like as you guys are kind of like getting up and existing in the world, awake, which is Zill's constant excruciating existence.
You right? Zill
uh
wakes up on this mortal plane every day and just goes, bitch again.
every fucking day I wake up in Ohio.
Yeah, we
Fucking
hope
day.
But so you guys you walk out of your respective rooms and come out to Kree existing, and then um Terrace is like he's just kind of pacing in the living room. He has armor on. He looks like he's ready to dip. Um and Zill, he turns to you and he says, "Something came up and I'm not leaving Kree here alone. Can you guys keep him with you?"
Of course. Is everything alright?
It's a long story, and it's a long story. I I need to get Solar somehow is halfway across the country, and I need to go get him and make sure he doesn't end up somewhere else he's not supposed to be. Again.
Zill would just nod at this.
And Harris, he thanks her and apologizes before basically all but running out the door.
I didn't even get my hug from my dad. I hate that. Fuck you.
Got places to be. Look at him go.
He gave you a hug. It just wasn't in character.
Wow.
It happened before.
Because what would have happened was like when he ran out the door, Kree would have kind of like stood by it and kind of like watched. And it just like his tail usually is kind of like moving, kind of like semi wagging. It would just be limp, just kind of like dragging behind him. And he just kind of seemed very quiet more than he usually is.
Depression.
His dad just left. What are you talking about?
Grandpa died, dad's left, stuck with grandma who's on a vengeance path. Yeah, doing great.
Yeah. Is Seal gonna do anything to Kree? Like, kind of like with just him standing there?
She would probably walk up beside him, but she wouldn't touch him or anything, so.
He would, kind of like, once Terrace was out of view, he would kind of like turn to Zill and very quietly he'd of course talk in his tongue and in his native tongue, and you would semi get it, but he would kind of be asking where they were going, where he was supposed to be going.
Did Kree not tell, not Kree, did Terrace not tell Kree?
No.
Just didn't fuck. To be fair, Terrace doesn't know where Zill's going.
Oh, I thought, okay, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, I understand the question now. I thought Kree was asking where Terrace was going. I was like, bitch, did you
Oh,
not
he
know your
doesn't know
son?
anything about that either.
Oh my goodness.
He knows that his other dad is in trouble somewhere. That's all he needs to know.
Yeah, okay.
Solar's always getting into shit.
Yeah. Um, Kree would respond, not Kree, Zill would respond to Kree, obviously in common, you know. Um, and she would just say that, like, Darius had to go help your other dad. You're gonna be traveling with us for a while. We're not sure where we're going yet, but we'll figure that out once everyone's up.
I mean, he's just kind of like going to nod, and he would reach for Zill's hand, but he knows she's not very touchy right now. So he'd kind of like motion for her to like walk to the kitchen with him. He wants a drink.
She would walk to the kitchen with him.
He's getting grape juice.
Understandable.
Oh. But is any of the other party gonna get up?
Could I say that Nihilus just spent the night in the cart?
Sure.
All right.
I mean, it's a massive farmhouse, but
Zenith
okay.
and Orc.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of guest rooms. It's like it,
Zenith and Orc
There's a
near
lot of
me.
houses.
Zenith and Orc
It's-
near me. Oh,
I mean, not gonna lie, Riley will not be in the house at this point. She'll be like in a tavern or something like that, because she does not know anybody and just being in a place that she doesn't know of. She'd
So-
rather go somewhere that's more familiar.
There is no tavern. This place is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, the house is a good like.
Wait, wasn't it like a wasn't a funeral like at a city?
no, it was at his
No.
house.
It was at his house, and the house is a good, I would say, 30-minute to an hour cart ride away from a town. So
Eh. And being a room, what? Doing like seeing if there's a book around. Yeah, I don't know.
Zenith and Orc slept in the barn last night.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
makes sense.
Doesn't make sense. I don't understand it.
Well, I guess it sucks to be you, Isaac.
It
I'm
does
sorry.
right now.
It's because every time Sopas is in the barn, he burns something. So he just doesn't understand spending an
The
entire night in
barn
there.
specifically.
Hey,
The
it has only happened
barn
twice.
specifically.
It's just he always wakes up and it's like haze
twice
on fire like
too
next to his
many.
head, and he's like, "The fuck."
He
Well,
doesn't
it's too
even
many,
need
but
to.
yeah.
Just small things catch around on fire when he's in there.
I just thought of something really funny. What if his kids fucking with him half the time?
That would be a little funny.
That's probably what it is.
But does anyone else would anyone else like to do anything, or
Nihilus would like to check on Calypso and Jerknoff.
okay? So they are basically just they're in the barn.
That's fair.
Calypso is not really sleeping. It's more of just kind of like
Watching someone sleep. I'm kidding.
no. If you like looked. So horses do this thing,
They
where
stand.
sometimes they lay down and they sleep, and most of the time it makes them look like they're dead.
This is true.
So she is doing that. But Dricknoth is curled up on her stomach and sleeping on top of her.
What time is it?
It's like 10-ish a.m.
All right. So what Nihilus is going to do is going to get the cart ready. Then once he's done with that, he's going to go to those two and start waking them up. He's going to say, "Hey, wake up! We're possibly going to start leaving soon. Come on, you two."
Dricknoth immediately crawls up in your sleeve, and Calypso snorts at you before getting up.
I thought she was gonna sass me and say, no, I'm gonna sleep. Alright.
Half
And
the creatures in the barn used her for heat the night previous. She wants to leave.
Okay, that's mostly the moth cats.
no, this is going to say, so, made any new friends?
She glares at you before walking out of the barn into the cart.
I have a point. You cannot deny that. And then he just hooks her up to the cart.
Listen, there was a point, like, it was very clear with the, like, look on her face that she was debating on kicking Nihilus.
Listen, it's probably not the first time. It's not. Yeah,
But,
he's just gonna get the cart ready. That's what he's gonna spend his morning doing.
do you guys get on the cart or pack up and get on the cart?
Yes. I would say yeah.
Okay.
Zill would have informed the party that Terrace had to go do something, so her and Sopus would be watching out for Kree and bringing him along for the time being at least.
Okay. So as you guys are getting ready to leave, the high priestess who essentially did, like, not initiated, but read Idris's death rites stops you guys. And she says, I would like to help you.
Insight.
Insight.
I'm sorry, Max.
I know what I did.
It's not the first time someone is using religious figure, then they're suddenly sus. Totally not the first time.
Actually, would a passive of 23 get me anything, Sir DM?
She seems very genuine. Like, she genuinely looks like she wants to help.
Nihilus then says, help in what exactly? Help getting even with the...
I want to help you find and kill Corsandus.
Nihilus looks at the party.
That's not very priest-like. No offense, obviously.
Depends on the priests, I guess.
Depends what god you are the priest of.
Exactly.
And I am a high priestess of Aurelius. Wishing death upon certain creatures is kind of my job.
Shows you how
But
much I know about religion.
she stops and she says, I am Arenia Lilium.
Oh.
And, like, she kind of just stops and she says, as long ago as it may have been, Idris and I were friends once. And while we had our differences, he never deserved this. Not this kind of death.
Insight.
Sure, you can do it again. It's the same thing.
Okay. I'm sorry, I was just trying to break the silence with a joke.
Zill isn't saying
gonna-
anything, but she's watching her very intensely. Like, she's
So-
listening to her very carefully.
Astral's going to speak up and he's going to say, I do not mean any offense by this, but the last time we trusted someone, they killed our friend.
And that is why I will not be traveling with you. Take off the edge. A little bit. I also have other things to attend to. It's not like I'm not young anymore. I can't just drop everything and leave, per se.
Very well, then what sort of help are you offering?
Be your eyes in the sky to help you find the people you need to eventually lead you to Corsandus. Just tell me who you were looking for, and I will find them. And I can
Well,
guide you through whatever you need help with. Be it moral dilemmas or a dungeon.
so basically, she's gonna be like our fucking what's that stupid paperclip from like the computer? She's gonna like,
Fucking
do you need
Clippy.
help with this? Clippy, she's gonna be our Clippy. Do you need help with this? But so do we even know who we're looking for next?
Well, I
I
mean,
don't
you
think
guys. Some of you guys did want to say you wanted to find the sniper.
so. Astro's like,
Max, didn't you
well,
say you know who that is? Because so would
You
I
um,
know,
know their name?
you would know of him,
You said
but
I
this
you don't.
is
knew him.
You
You
knew
said
him? Did
Idris knew
I?
of him. You said I
you
Yes,
knew
you
well,
know
him.
him.
yeah,
That's right.
you
That's right.
well,
That's
like,
Idris
right.
So
knew of him. Zill
That's
I
right.
knew
Sorry.
knew
him.
Sorry.
him.
so
I can't keep shit straight.
Astro's going to speak up and say, well, there was that curious sniper that shot Corsandus from what I can only like. Max, he was like a mile and a half away, right? He was like
He was
really.
more. He
Oh,
was almost more.
oh, he's like that shot Corsandus from seemingly an impossible distance.
Max, you should DM me the sniper's name so I have it.
Can I say a joke? Can I say a joke?
Do it.
Out of character, or in character.
Out of character.
Do it.
He was farther than my will to live.
Bro.
Bad joke. Bad joke. Wasn't worth it.
Good joke. I
He
also
was
have
far.
little will to live.
He went farther than when my dad went to get milk.
Better.
Bro.
Better. You see, now that's trauma.
That's trauma.
My goodness.
Aren't they both trauma?
Yes.
No.
Yes, they are.
No. Well, it's because it's like
One's
the
trauma,
second
one's the
one. The
reaction to
second one
trauma.
can cause the
Yeah.
first one.
What did I come back to?
Don't
Trauma.
fucking worry
Your mom.
about it.
Casey's
Your dad.
Okay.
No, he
I'm
didn't.
so sorry.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Craig. I'm
viewers,
sorry,
this is what we
Craig.
go through every day.
This is
This
probably
is what some people go
so.
through every day.
So what?
Oh, hi! It's Jane!
Casey
What?
mute. Casey mute.
Oh, right, sorry. Oh, for some...
I just rolled 2 nat 20s. Nice.
You just wasted them. Good luck.
I got real dice.
You can't get those back.
Still,
Oh, I love real
wasted 'em.
dice. I have one set of real dice. I don't do IRL D&D
I
anymore though.
also have one set.
They're metal dice, Kirsten.
I swear to God, guys,
I'm cheap.
But
So
didn't we continue?
yeah,
Sorry.
I'm waiting to get the name because Zill knows the name
Yeah.
of the sniper.
I'm also waiting for that. Like I was should we like if I ever come with her to visit, I'm gonna come like on a Saturday so we can play my game in person.
Yes!
Obvious.
Also,
Okay.
question:
Anyway,
while
Okay.
Max is getting the name, what did I miss in the past minute I was gone, or are you guys just talking?
The
you missed
priestess
absolutely
lady.
nothing.
Yeah,
Besides the high priestess.
yeah. Like basically, she's saying that she wants to help us find Corsantus.
Okay, that I did hear. I was making sure I didn't miss anything
Oh,
else.
okay.
Okay. I have the name now, so if Silver, you would do the little moment of him saying he wants to find the sniper, so that I can just pick up from that.
Oh, sure thing.
Okay.
So he says, well, there was that curious sniper that shot Corsandus from seemingly an impossible distance. He might be a good start.
Yes, Abel would probably know where to find Corsandus, or at least how to track him. So he would probably be
Oh,
a
you
good
know of
person
him?
to find. I used to know him a while ago. No one ever really knew his full name, just we all called him Abel.
Well, That's a start. Do you think you could? What is the high priestess's name again?
Rania.
Arania?
Mhm.
Okay. He says, do you think you could find this person, Arania?
I can. Just give me some time. Though, start off by heading east. Is that the
East it
right
is.
direction?
What is east on the map, Max?
That's what I'm looking at because I just pulled a random
On the
thing out of
map,
my
east.
Because aren't we like really close to like
Um,
another like
so
entire country?
east, yeah,
East is over
is
to
Cormay. East is
yeah.
Cormay and
It's
Soule.
the
Soule.
country of Osal, yeah. Whose capital
Okay,
is
so we're gonna
Copindius,
be.
where Soapus is from.
So
Indeed.
we'd be leaving. What fucking thing are we in right now?
We are in
Eocria?
Your mom's house.
So yeah, we'd be leaving
Skyward.
Eocria.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No, that's
Okay.
northwest. Isaac, get it right.
So,
Was
Astro says, well, that's a start, I suppose. Does anybody have any unfinished business before we leave?
No.
Before
Man,
anything,
aren't you just a
do,
bright, like, oh, go ahead,
Just-
Riley.
just a quick question though. Do you guys need me here or anything? Because this sounds more personal, and all I know is somebody died. So, I.
Well, if we leave you, that means whenever, if I'm understanding it, if we leave you here, that means whenever our friend comes back, she would be in your place.
I think it
I
would be best if
mean,
you stuck with this, Miss Riley.
Oh, so that's how. Okay. Out of character. Uh, okay. What happens if Bloom is getting laid? And the switch happens.
I did not understand what you said.
What happens if the switch happens while somebody's getting laid?
then I guess they don't get to finish.
I
It's
feel like
That's
one
a
of the
that.
double
biggest
meaning
lines.
joke. I'm proud of
I
that.
feel like the chalk would do that on purpose. Just right in the middle of it, just yoinks
I
you.
thought this was a family-friendly
But
session, jokingly.
anyways,
This is never a family-friendly
Fuck
session.
family. Fuck family friendly.
Max
Sorry.
literally
The
has a
question
content
is,
warning before anything.
does the Scrooge come with the transportation or does the Scrooge stay?
Anyways, Niles is going to say to Astro, "This is just my normal tone most of the time. Sorry if it came off as rude."
And Astro just like looks at him and just looks away from him, like. So, are we ready to go?
Just one more thing, the high priest. Like she says that, and she pulls out a couple necklaces out of her um bag, and she says, "Think of these as sending stones that you can activate." And they don't really have a radius. No, I don't think sending stones have a radius. Whatever. I don't know magic that well. Um,
Would you like me to check them, miss? Or was that
no.
out of character? I couldn't tell.
When
She
it comes to
was.
sending, oh,
That
okay,
was
never
in
mind.
character.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, but just
okay.
Dipshits.
I was
Anyway,
just making sure.
she I paused because I had to think what I was gonna like how I'm gonna word this without it being
Okay.
without me being like, yeah, I just gave you comms. But she says these will help us keep in touch.
I'm
Whose phone?
sorry, what the fuck was that noise?
Whose phone?
Well,
Who
somebody's
buzzed?
That's
That
I'll be right
scared
back.
the
I'm getting a
shit
phone
out of
call.
me.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
also,
Sounds about like him. Anyway.
makes sense. I
you
just
know.
also would like to say that Cree is like in the back of the cart, like away from everyone else, kind of like not even sitting on what He's in the corner. He's in the corner, and tails wrapped around him, and I'm also DMing you something, Max, about
Okay.
that.
But she hands like all of them to the nearest person, which honestly is probably Nihilus. So Nihilus can distribute them, whatever. But
Wait, what?
I am handing you the necklaces that have sending stones on them.
Okay. I got it now. I got it now.
But after she does that, she puts on her like she doesn't really put it on, but like she pulls it up out of her like her priest robes, and she shows that she's also wearing it. She says, "If you need me, you can contact me through this, and as well, if I discover any more information, I will contact you through these."
All right.
But she like basically does her little respectful bow and bids you guys farewell.
And Niles is going to distribute them amongst the party, though he's not going to give one to Riley, mainly because, well, obvious reasons.
You try to give one to Kree.
Yeah. He doesn't know anything about Kree. He just thinks he's a tall man.
Kree honestly would not take it. Like when Nihilus came to him more, he'd kind of like huddle into the corner of this cart a little bit more, like the best he could, and he would be holding on to like a sword in his hand, like not a sword, but like a little weapon by his belt, but like kind of having it hidden because he's making sure that doesn't get hurt.
Not a people person. And he just hands it to Sopez.
I'll give it to him later. Thank you.
I'm guessing he's not really keen with people.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Noted. Anything else?
Don't approach him unless he seems completely comfortable with it.
All right. What?
He's getting attacked if he goes too close.
That could happen.
I mean, I feel like you're letting them too little than what you know. I mean, if I'm gonna be with you, I should at least get an idea of who I'm traveling with.
Let's say this then. If you approach him, you could die possibly if he reacts wrong, so be careful.
Also, don't touch his tail.
That's obvious. I feel like. Actually, no, not to everyone, actually, I feel like.
When his tail was mentioned, by the way, it kind of would just curl around him a little bit more. And he'd just be sitting there watching everyone.
Is it really okay to bring him if he is gonna attack us?
He won't attack you if you're smart, so just be careful. Understand that he doesn't like people.
Just give him
He will only
space.
attack in self-defense. Just don't be offensive.
Just like people on Twitter. I'm sorry.
Just don't be offensive.
What's
yes.
Right, no,
Well,
please.
I mean offensive. I meant don't be like on the offense. Like don't be aggressive.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyways, Nihilus is gonna start having Calypso move on the car once we know where we're going, I guess.
Woo! To Corme!
I will say, when we start moving, Auric immediately pulls out a small sketchbook and begins drawing something.
Where are we on the map?
We are near Slyward. We're like away. We're like off of it. It's just that would be the closest town, a good like hour cart ride.
Or just a reminder for Riley will actually be on Calypso throughout the ride because
that's fine. That's fine. If Calypso's fine with it, Nihilus is fine with it as long
Calypso
as
seems to not care.
But no.
He really cares.
Go hunt around her using for what? I'm kidding.
Calypso is a big girl. She's great.
When
We
can
love
you please shut up?
Calypso.
She debates on whether she loves you.
She should.
She
That's
can
why we
kill
love
us
her.
without hesitation, but
I
she
mean,
loves.
she won't get any more sugar cubes if she doesn't.
Oric
will
is not
always
on
do.
that. Oric is not on that list.
Yeah.
Fuck you all.
I
That
just
was
turns
Uh,
out,
my
turns
that
out
was
she was
funny.
behind Idris's death all along.
I just
She
like
um,
was the one
one
who
day
killed him.
we're gonna wake up and then Calypso's just fucking gone, like out off of the cart, and that's like, oh shit.
Corstandis was just a red herring. Um,
um. Anyway, do you guys want to do anything or just take a
uh,
long rest and skip?
not Nihilus.
so
Oh,
hang on, I need to check something real quick. There's something I wanted to do.
wow.
Go ahead and do what you wanted to do. It's gonna take me a minute to find this.
All right.
Okay.
So Nihilus is going to look at Oryx and says, "So, Oryx, how have you been? You holding up all right?"
I'm okay. I'm still a little sad. Hold on, I'm not in the voice. Hi,
Oryx,
I'm Ulrich.
Oryx just suddenly hit puberty.
Oh, I'm quite
Voice.
fine. I guess. I'm still a little sad. But
That should be expected.
I'm thankful for Idris. And I always will be.
I am. I feel that way too. He kind of helped me in some way. I got to meet one of my. I can just say family members here though. It's been a
Oh,
while since I
that's
saw.
good.
He was a part of the Storm Guard though. It's been a while though.
Oh, the Storm Guard. Yeah, Storm
What?
Guard.
What?
Well, don't you think it's kind of on the nose? Storm Guard is technically a part of the Storm Order.
Is it?
Nihilus,
I just thought the name was a coincidence.
Mr. Nihilus.
I'm a dumbass sometimes. I know, and I'm pretty sure.
No. It's okay. It's just I thought you would have figured it out by now.
No, I'm a fucking idiot sometimes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Asher's
I'm not,
like,
I'm not
sometimes.
Does Asher say that?
Though,
Yeah, he does say that.
That's true though, and
if
I
Google was there, she would just be shitting on Nihilus for there.
she would be dunking on him.
Asher was doing it in her place.
Not gonna. Her instant reaction would have been, "When were you ever? When did you ever actually have a valid thought in your mind?"
But Blooma's not here. Anyways, now I rely more on my instincts than my head sometimes, which sometimes screws me over, sometimes it doesn't. Helped me run away. But that's fun. Though the group isn't bad. They're all good, from what I know. I've been with them for 10 years, and all we did was Max. Remind me, what did Nihilus did with them before those 10 years?
You were hired
Gay
mercenaries.
sex.
So you would go out and solve a problem, like, say, someone's farm is getting overrun by slimes. You would go out and solve that and get paid.
Flames.
He says, a group of mercenaries. Besides, that wasn't even the name at first. It was something. Actually, I forgot what it was called. It's been a long time since it's been changed.
Hey, Max, I do want to ask, does Zenith know anything about the Storm Guard at all?
No.
Okay, I didn't think
Other
so.
than they were a more so recent addition.
Okay. So Zenith, oddly enough, speaks up and says, "Well, they hold on. Well, they're a more recent addition to the Storm Order.
Ah,
They hired arm and all. They can't continue to make soldiers.
I still trust them. They kind of saved my life.
The people of your part of the organization may be good, but not everyone in that cult is, well,
I can imagine. Considering from what I've heard from you guys. I guess,
and Chrysanthus.
yeah, I'm just clarifying them on their behalf, so just in case there's not any
Oh,
trouble
you-
between the two.
you're fine. I understand. More than anything, actually, I would have done the same if I were in your stance.
Yeah. Actually, Mac, where are they on the map too? Actually,
So
go ahead.
on the map, where the fuck's my map again? It is all the way up here.
I'm the map.
So-
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the
Isaac?
map.
Yeah,
I'm
Isaac.
sorry. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Why did I say?
So, they would be around Giant's Crag in Soule.
All right.
Isaac just pulled a Firefly moment.
Yeah, he did.
I did not put down.
I almost got him a Firefly plush.
So wait, what's it called? Giants what?
Giant's Crag.
Near what?
In Soule.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to make sure I put that in my notes so I don't ask you again for like 3 more times later on.
Anyway.
Over, did you anything you wanted to do?
Max,
Yes.
I have a question for you.
I swear to God, if you're fucking pushing your index fingers together.
He's pushing. I can feel it in his voice.
No, I'm not. It's more like middle fingers. So
Yes.
if you want to help me out, you don't have to put this in the video if you don't want to.
There's a lot of shit I had to
But
edit out.
I have created a few abyssal magic spells, and I need to playtest them. Do you mind if Astral takes them? It's okay if you don't want him to.
Fine, you can.
Oh God!
Yeah, you're good.
Magic. Oh
Yeah, you're
God.
Okay. Like, because I know
So
you
the
want
only
your character
thing
muted.
the only thing I will say that he will have to do is he's going to have to talk to the Void Mother to gain access.
Good luck with that.
All right.
Have fun with that. Time to swoon her, I guess. I don't
I
know.
mean, like, all right.
Work.
I don't know how he's going to do that. I mean, never not been a religious person, but he'll figure it out. He'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Anyway,
I will throw hands.
You tried to flirt with her at first.
No, you
No.
don't.
That's your
for
grandmother,
this
sorry.
I
meeting.
will throw hands if this man is able to talk to a Void Mother with actual words.
I mean, Isaac, when was the last time you tried?
A lot.
When was the
Recently?
last time?
Last
I'm
time?
not talking to the Void Mother on a regular basis, like every other day, bro.
Yeah, he does.
So,
Well, go ahead and continue. You guys go ahead and continue.
That's all I wanted to ask. You're good.
Okay.
I actually was gonna have Nihilus ask Riley a question, actually.
Okay.
Miss, you there? You nerd? Okay. So, Nihilus is going to say, so, Riley, was it?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a guy called Kenor Endova? I'm just curious.
Let's see. I think he was the douchebag of a king.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, he wasn't very nice at all.
Do
He
you know
basically
why?
tried to jail us.
Literally shitting all over Keenor's name. Oh my goodness. That's funny.
No,
Riley
I'm
still.
shitting on the king. I'm shitting on the king.
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
anything else you know about him?
I mean, I just tried to block out him out of my mind. I do not like him at all.
I did not hear you.
I do not like him at all. I tend to block him out of my mind, to be honest with you. If it
Uh,
wasn't for me just being a menace to his staff, bruh, I would have left the entire, went back home, to be honest with you.
I was just curious mainly because I heard that name from Soteria. So I was just curious. And I didn't get a chance to talk with Soteria a whole lot.
What else did Soteria tell you by any chance?
He didn't really speak a lot. Apparently, I sound like him. I sound like that Kino guy, but I don't know why. Besides that, he just kept to himself, and he was really skittish a few times from the place that we were at.
I mean, he is kind of a big softie. But as for Kino,
I
I mean, I guess you do something, but I don't know.
Though my name's Nihilus, not Kenor, so.
Eh, I mean, you don't really act like him. You sound just depressed a lot.
Is it? Nihilus just looks at her. He's like, "Is it really that obvious?"
Yes, very.
I mean, I'm pretty sure
I meant to
everybody and
say
their
that. I
mother
meant to say
knows.
that in Xana's voice. Sorry.
No,
It's
keep
funny.
No, it's
keep his
funnier that it was
words
in Oric's
together.
voice.
It's funny.
Yes.
Okay, if I'm gonna do it in Noric's voice, let me do it a little more proper. Oh yeah, it's kind of very obvious.
I thought stop drinking. I'm
It
not
is
eating
extremely obvious.
a lot of
I
alcohol,
mean,
Extremely.
so like
a newborn baby will find that out. It's that obvious.
I thought it was the alcoholism that made it obvious.
Oh
Oh, that
no,
I
too.
mean,
That
I
like,
too.
mean, in your
I mean, like, you
family, it
can be
doesn't
an
more obvious.
alcoholic and not be depressed. I mean, like that's not like a standard issue depression thing. You're not
Yeah.
Why?
special.
I know, but
I mean, I'm an alcoholic. Technically,
Really?
I'm not depressed. No, I just drink a lot of, well, rum, scotch, sake.
also, Max, question:
Yes.
how long does Nihilus have until like he's able to drink alcohol again? Like 2 weeks or still
Two and a
3 weeks?
half weeks. I've been keeping
Well,
check out of character.
Damn.
Yeah.
but technically, he already broke that promise
He already
with
broke that promise
the
though, and Oric hasn't found out.
He's not gonna find out.
yeah, the drink with the wine. That's still alcoholic.
It was still one. That is it,
It's a promise either way, sir.
and he's not gonna find out because he was just trying to help Bloomer calm down. That's great.
Anyway, is there anything else? Is there anything else anyone else would like to do?
Stare off into space.
Wonder
Other
why.
than that,
Oh, okay.
Find the
I would
meaning of
just say,
life.
I
42.
would just say since it was mentioned in call chat, but I know Oric was glancing between a few people, Kree being one of them, but he, by then, with those glances, would be tucked even more in the corner and kind of holding on to his belt,
I will say,
not meeting Oric's gaze.
I will say, Oric, after noticing this and noticing Sopez's reaction as well, gives a small yelp and like, and then like tucks himself into the to looking the other way and goes back to doing whatever he's doing in his sketchbook.
Insight.
He's drawing Rule 60. He's drawing Rule 64 characters.
Rule 63
He's a
characters? What?
I mean,
child.
Rule 63.
Oric is a
Stop it.
child.
Rule 63 isn't bad.
I'll,
Rule 63 is just the, you know,
Yes,
opposite
miss.
gender.
Yeah.
I'm running insight on whatever the
I
Oric's
mean,
reaction.
Okay.
if you want the truth, it seems like he's drawing.
No, that's the
He,
reason why he yelled.
because he realized he upset somebody and he doesn't like making people upset. That seems
Good
kind of,
enough.
yeah, no, it's a wholesome reason. I mean,
He's not upset. He's just scared. I'll let you know out of character.
oh, I assumed, but he didn't necessarily. I used upset in a different manner.
Mhm.
I'm a dum dum with words.
Same, bro. Same.
Actually, I have a question for Zoe.
Not
God.
Zil. What's it gonna be?
Kirsten, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Nihilus is going to say, so I don't want to sound rude at all, but like I've been confused ever since I met you. And please don't take this in the wrong way. What are you? You're not human at all. I can tell that for a
No,
fact.
I am not. Though, if you don't spend much time with me, I can pass as such as I was meant to.
Ulti like pops out of
Nihilus.
the jar, and like he
Oh,
looks at
goodness.
Zil and he's just like, if you don't want to tell him, I will gladly tell him because I was there when you were created.
She just kind of
What's going on?
she just kind of looks at Creed and looks back at Nihilus. As I was saying, there is a good chance,
Boring.
even when I tell you that I was there at A, have no idea what I'm talking about, B, know what I'm talking about but think I'm lying to you, or C, get scared the shit out of and never want to look at me again. So I don't know if you want to know.
I want to know.
I mean,
I think I.
I've
Was that
Wait, I
I
didn't say
want
that
you
in
to
the voice.
know.
I didn't say that.
I've seen weird shit. It'd probably be weird, but it probably won't be that weird. If that
Yeah,
makes
I would
sense.
like to know as well because if Nidus was it is asking what are you, and I just was informed that there, some other party is willing to kill each other. I want to know who I'm dealing with before I even continue following you guys.
I'm just a guy with a sword.
Zill
I'm
doesn't once take her eyes off of Nihilus. Like, she doesn't really acknowledge what Riley is saying at all. And she just kind of sighs and she looks at Nihilus and she goes, "Do you know what void creatures are?"
Max.
Roll an intelligence check.
Let's go.
Max, what are you
so
eating?
Wait, who all needs to roll intelligence?
Barbecue
I-
chip.
Give me one.
Max, I do believe that Zenith has told Oric stories about void creatures.
That's a 19. Holy shit.
Woo! Ha! Yes. You know what that. You know what that is.
I know.
Sorry. Woo!
Woo!
I am white, and this has like the slightest bit of heat, and
Oh my goodness.
it's not that I
I'm
can't handle
white.
heat. It's just that I can taste. It tastes. I can taste it, and it tastes bitter.
Cultural appropriation.
And you,
Yeah, against
Anyway.
white people. Fuck white people.
Anyway,
I'm
Seriously.
also white, for context.
yeah.
It's really funny because it's sweet southern heat barbecue. So
Anyways, Nihilus says, I've heard of them. I just never really seen one. I'd heard certain stories.
Well,
I've been told many stories
there
about them. Ooh.
there are many different types of void creatures, kind of a hierarchy of sorts. I am what is considered a void walker. We are at the top of that hierarchy. Most of us appear pretty humanoid because we're supposed to. We're supposed to be able to blend in, but
I
that
see.
is what I am. More specifically, I am a void walker that was made in the likeness, I guess, of an Asimar, which you could probably pick up on some more Asimar style traits I have.
Hmm.
What? So that would not to be rude, of course, Miss Sill, but are you referring to, the black veins that we've seen as well as the forms that you've taken before?
Those are all from being a void walker. More
Uh,
specifically, more specifically, I mean the wings, the
I,
shimmer type things.
I have a
Oh.
Those are more
question.
Asimar style traits.
Anyways, to answer Riley's question,
Never mind.
I'm just a guy with a sword. Nothing really out there with me. Besides turning into a werewolf here and there.
I feel like that's a lie. I mean, there's whatever Zill is, or he says woodworker, and I feel uncomfortable. Not because of that, but the fact is, I am basically in a group of people I kind of know and are likely hiding a lot of stuff. Uh,
Um,
People hide stuff too.
I mean, if you aren't hiding anything, are you truly normal?
I'll tell you, I'm a werewolf.
Also, cruelty seems drunk.
Oh, and he
Lucky.
didn't.
Cruelty,
And
get
he
back in the
didn't
jar.
share. And he didn't share.
I will say Auric did have something.
He's the embodiment of cruelty. Do you think he's gonna share?
For a price, he would.
At that point, it wouldn't be sharing.
Auric
It's kind of
does
the point.
Auric does
Yeah,
have something to
exactly.
say referring back to Zill, about, the believing, or the three, like the ABC thing that she did.
Yeah. Either not
So
knowing, not believing her, or being scared of her if they know. Yeah.
Auric, this is gonna seem weird, guys, but Auric is going to say, I don't see how people can be scared of you. I think it matters what a person is like rather than what they are. I mean, look at me. I'm a guy who was going. I'm a kid who was born from a tree. I mean, I'm a
You
pretty
was
weird
what?
guy,
I'm
but
sorry, what?
What?
I'm an, I'm not an Asimar per se, but I'm technically born from a chorus tree. Remember? I've told you this, Nihilus.
I probably forgot, and I highly apologize, Eric.
Oh no, you're perfectly fine. Um,
Now it still speaks of it as and I am a pony from a different dimension. We all have our quirks.
yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with you being a void creature. I mean, you're a good person. That's just how I view it.
Auric, you being born from a tree and me being made from darkness and basically most of the bad in the world are not the same thing. I do not have your mortal emotions, I don't have your mortal morals. You call me a good person because you have not seen how little I actually care for mortal life. I'm being honest here.
I think the
Well,
most care. I think
I
the
have
most care that was
I
put
have a
into you was the
question.
fact that your mother spit on you instead of breathing life.
Out character, holy shit.
I have a
Um,
question.
I'm grabbing the jar and I'm forcing cruelty into the jar.
Bro.
He's going in the jar.
he's going into timeout.
Stopus puts it like over his head, that kind of way, and tries to just put it over his head.
Like, he is screaming the entire time. He's just like, no, 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 you can't fucking do this to me.
I'm the embodiment of cruelty.
I
I'm like,
I thought you loved me. That's
Do
like the
you
last
know?
thing he
That
says. That's the last thing he gets to say before this shut.
Do you
Nihilus says,
fucking know who I am?
Nihilus says, "Damn, he's." I'm just sometimes wonder what type of alcohol he has in there. Holy shit!
Anyway,
Get out of it.
Casey, did you have a question?
Yeah,
Nihilus
but
did say
it's
that.
already kind of too late. So
Okay.
I was just gonna ask, didn't we see Zill cry during the funeral or no?
Yes.
Not during the funeral, no. You
Okay,
guys saw
never
her
mind.
cry whenever Idris died. You would have seen her cry.
Then can I say something? Can I say something?
Sure.
Go
Yeah,
ahead, do what your
sure.
character would do.
Human emotions? Didn't you cry when someone died?
You were ignorant.
I know. Runs in the
And
family.
and Astral says, and you are denying the truth.
It is
Okay,
not
I didn't.
denial. I do not have or was born with your mortal emotions. I
So you're
developed
saying you did
certain.
not care? Are you saying you did not care for Idris?
Oh,
Oh
My
shit!
my care for
oh.
Idris was not a mortal emotion, and if you misinterpret or try to say something like that again, I will consume you.
Alright, I'm getting in the jar with cruelty.
And
Soaps, actually, make a
Astral
strength check real
says,
quick. Make a strength
Soapaz
check.
knows when to run.
Oh
Right? Oh
Mr.
no.
Astral, before we
Hey,
continue,
hey, 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 hey. Soaps, make a strength check.
Yep, yep,
oh,
yep. I'm
oh.
trying to find dice. What's my strength again?
Did
Hey, Matt,
anyone
Where the fuck is
hear?
strength?
Did anyone hear the joke I
could
made?
could
No,
I
there's too many
say,
people talking.
with Kree though, I would like to say that he's gripping his belt tighter when he notices that Zilla's kind of, getting a bit.
Angie.
Oh no,
He's
that fails.
getting scared. Very
I got a
little.
4.
hey Isaac, you rolled a D10, not a D20.
Yeah,
Oh, what the
You're
nice
fuck?
job.
fucking dingus.
Try again.
I didn't even realize that. A 12.
Better.
You doubled the dice, I said you fucking doubled the number. Damn.
Let's go.
Nice.
Where the fuck was it? There it is. I
This is
hate
very
everything
weird.
here.
Why,
I hate
why did I?
everything I hear. Sorry, it's not fucking loading properly, so I'm gonna cry. This is what I get for not downloading my stat block.
What's that? What?
I'm
Cruelty
assuming
stat block?
I'm assuming it's
Cruel,
cruelty trying to escape, to be honest.
yeah. Cruelty's probably like picking out in the jar.
That might
Nothing.
be it, actually. That might be it.
There it is.
If he fits, he sits, and then he breaks the jar.
Wait, technically, would that mean he just has a fat ass?
So,
God.
you guys see this man kind of like basically break out of the jar, and he looks, or he looks at the both and says, "I'm gonna say it right now. You, Sir Horse, should shut the fuck up and stop
Or
poking.
horse.
And stop what?
Hey,
Stop poking."
calm down. Calm
And
down.
Astral says, well, and he says, well, poking is what I'm good at.
And it will get you eaten.
Okay, Zil,
Well,
you better stop.
Can I say something?
Seriously.
Can
and Astral says, well, when someone's trying to be a King Sombra wannabe, I have to point it out. And Astra's like, I'm not trying to pry into your personal business, but it literally just sounds like you're lying. You're lying to yourself that you do not have emotions. And that's not good. That's never good.
I think you are ignorant to what and who I am. So maybe you should not tell me what I do or don't tell when I am very aware of myself.
So Cruelty, like he hops out of the jar and he says, "Okay, okay, okay, okay," and he claps his hands, and it's clear that any like drunkenness that he had is gone.
Oh, no.
Oh. I wish I could do that. That's not fair. That's
And he looks to you and he says, or he looks to you, Astral, and he says, "Emotions are weird, especially for creatures like Zoe. They're basically non-existent until a certain level. And don't use the term King Somber wannabe, because that man, not to say anything, but like he's really like he's the wannabe of me, if anything. I don't even know where you get like that vibe. Also, breaking the fourth wall. If you get me sued, I'm coming for your ass. Anyway,
I'm a character, not gonna
Oh,
lie, King Summer barely did shit. Like, yeah, I seen the
well,
show. His personality is literally 1 out of 100. Like, he has no personality. He's generic villain, dude.
he is.
Yeah,
yeah.
he has no
Um,
personality. So
but
basically, what you
and
said is like you're a generic. You're a generic. You just that's what you call Bill.
Yeah, but like he didn't feel emotion. Like it's not that's the wrong word. He felt emotion though. Like he had emotions. That's what like yeah, like it was very obvious he had emotion. We should stop before we get in a whole debate on like him and his
yeah,
emotions.
and,
But anyway,
Astral just says, who do we lose?
Casey had to leave.
Okay. Astral just says, listen, Zilly, you do not have to agree with me, but I lied to myself for a very long time, and I paid the price for it. Eventually, you're going to have to face the truth, whatever that truth may be. I could be completely wrong.
I feel like this is like you seeing something that's not there. The only
I'm not.
person who was
It's not that
running from
I'm.
the only
I'm not.
person
It's
who
not that
was
I'm.
running from the truth was the wolf man who's currently buried. Zill was the victim and the chaser.
I'm not trying to say I'm seeing something that isn't there. I'm seeing something that could be there.
I would like to say that Kree would have perked up when, like, because he's been hearing this entire conversation, and it would
Again,
seem like he would be staring at Astral and, like, he would be trying to mutter something, but it wouldn't be able to be heard what he was saying.
okay. Um, and Astro just says, again, you do not have to agree with me, but we'll see what happens. And Astro's going to like kind of like glance over to Kree, and he says like, "Did you say something? I thought I heard something."
Kree who would Kree would seem a bit more so struggling with what he was trying to say, because he'd be trying to word something out, but it would seem as if like he is not comfortable right now. Like he is very tense, scared, but also like getting kind of pissed. And he'd kind of like look to Sopez for help.
What kind of help? Like calm the situation
Translation,
down help?
Translation.
Oh, translation. Okay.
because he's
What is he
trying to
trying to
tell Astral to just he. Sopez is gonna be like, Sopez might have to talk to Kree later, but he's trying to tell Astral to stop fucking talking. Like those exact words. Stop fucking talking.
Astro, I don't know if I should water this down. But what he's trying to say is stop fucking talking. His words, not mine.
And Astro's just going to look over to Kree and say, "Okay, am I supposed to listen to you for some reason? Are you the boss of me? I don't know. You're not. Just stay in your own lane, please." I'm done talking anyway.
Good. And like cruelty was like low key. Like if do you look at it? Does Astro look at cruelty?
Yeah.
He has a muzzle in his hands.
He has a what?
He has a muzzle
Muzzle.
in his hands.
And Astro says, if you get anywhere near me with that, I will, I will,
Cruelty.
I will
And
kill
like
you.
he says, "I'd like to see you try."
I
Trust
will
me.
place a magical seal on that jaw that not even Zill can break.
Not Nyla says, okay, maybe we should just move on
Um,
from the
I-
conversation at hand
I will
instead of
say,
fighting again.
I'm
Oric
not
would
even trying. I'm not even trying to fight. People are just
I,
getting mad at me.
I'm just referring to the entire group, not one person.
Okay, this is completely out of character, but like Silver, I love you, and I love Astro, but Astro's pulling the I gave unsolicited advice, and now I'm getting attacked. I'm a victim.
That is what he's doing right
Well, it's
now.
like, and it's
No, because
like, well, like,
Zill's just like, hey, leave me alone. You don't know what you're talking about. Stop projecting. And he's like, I'm not projecting. You're ignoring shit. And she's like, no, I'm not. You're being stupid.
That's why Kree got mad. You don't shit talk his grandma. Like he knows Zill is not comfortable.
Well, also, Zill never said she didn't have emotions. She specifically said she did not have mortal emotions. Void creature emotions are highly different. She specifically said she did not have mortal emotions.
But anyway,
Anyway, moving on. Would anyone else like to do anything? Or
I was going to have Oric apologize to Zill, and that was going to be it. But yeah,
Nihilus
I kind of got interrupted earlier, so that's not
oh no,
happening
you're
now.
good. Sorry.
You're
Sorry.
fine.
Nihilus is gonna look at Calypso and see like what she's thinking of all of this.
She's just pulling the cart. She seems kind of like done with everything. Though she also seems kind of fairly like she keeps looking back at the cart because cruelty hasn't gone back in the jar, and there is now basically like the only way I can describe it as an infected aura in this cart. It's like cruelty's own. Like he's partially in the jar, but
Like a genie.
yeah, like he's basically from his chest up is hanging out of the jar.
Whenever we
It's
get
just
to the next
in Soap's hands.
Yes.
Whenever we get to the next town, Nihilus is gonna buy something for Calypso because I think she needs it after like last night and right now.
Listen,
I feel like
I will, despite his. It's also really funny because Cruelty doesn't give a shit about Zill, and he fed the tension because it fed him.
Oh, okay.
Man was a bit hungry.
makes sense.
But anyway,
As well as he is aware of what Zill is, so like some of the stuff he said, even whether it being defending Zill or not, he was just being truthful, to be honest. But he was feeding the tension in the cart.
anyway, so do you guys want to do anything else, or are we good to skip?
I
yeah,
was gonna say that Kree was gonna do one thing after,
Okay.
because it would have been obvious that the anger he had would have like died down very quickly, and like he definitely very obviously ignored what Astral said, and he kind of would have like moved, because I'd assume it'd be Zill, Sopez, and then Kree, but he would have moved to where he was like kind of in between them, and it'd be very quiet, but people with sensitive hearing would be able to hear like what seemed to be like a low, inhuman growling in a sense, but it wouldn't be something of malicious intent or like anything like bad. It would just seem like kind of, you know how
Offensive.
wolves are talkative and how they
Rhetoric?
growl, and No. So wolves are very talkative, and what they do is they speak through growling, in a sense. Like they see, like people would see it as something very like, oh, they're growling, so it's territorial. No, they do that just to talk and be vocal. So Pez and Zill would both hear that, but anyone else who was like listening in would also hear that. But it'd just be a whole of Kree would be looking at Zill, and Zill, you would know that he is like doing a okay, you okay type of situation.
Zill would nod at him, and like he would be able to tell like by her posture, like she's fine. She was just obviously annoyed by more so the ignorance of people around her, because she like tried to explain what she was, and people, what something that you can tell she's been annoyed by before, of people not understanding what she was talking about and her just being over it. But she seems fine, and Kree would be able to tell that.
Kree would just settle down between him, like between her and Sopez, and just kind of like, would something happen if his tail would be touching Zill? Because his tail would technically be touching her, but it'd just be like kind of hovering also. Just kind of like, because he would have moved his tail to do that, to kind of be comforting in a sense from what he would know without actually touching.
Probably wouldn't do anything.
Okay.
Because it would, yeah. I think it's good enough distance-ish that it's like it wouldn't be that bad. Yeah.
His tail would be like the tip of his tail, the little thimble would be like above her hand. That would be resting on the bench or something of the cart. They're holding hands. But that's all I wanted to do.
Cruelty back in the jar.
Roll a strength check.
Oh fuck.
You have his stat block. You think you can beat
Wait,
that?
would you hear him say that?
Oh. No, I see it now. I didn't realize. Okay. Wait, I need to see the stat block.
Would Kree be able to see Sopez struggling to put cruelty back in the jar?
Yes.
Could I just help him? Could Kree just help him?
Sure. I mean, Stopes gets to roll with advantage.
Alright, listen, I don't think this is going to be cruelty.
Would a strength of 27 get him back in the jar easily? If Kree were to do it himself. Because Kree would probably like put his hand on like where the jar jar lid is.
Roll roll strength. Okay.
Listen, cruelty has a busted strength.
Yeah, he
Plus-
does.
Plus 19.
Technically he beats it even if you Max, I don't think Kree can.
Well, Kree's gonna try.
I don't even think Kree. No.
Roll with advantage. Roll with advantage. Sorry, I dropped my mic.
Advantage.
Yeah, I dropped my mic before I could say it.
Let me just do another 1d20.
Max, and this man lives in a jar in my pocket?
Yes.
That's terrifying. What the fuck?
Damn it. Okay, but would he get disadvantage because...
No.
No, considering...
Would he be distracted?
No.
Damn it.
He doesn't want the lid back on right now. He's eating.
So Sopez would just give up then.
Kree's giving cruelty a low growl. Like, not anything bad, just like talking.
Wait, Max, you said did you say there was like an aura we could see? Or did I mishear you?
There is an aura you can feel. Basically like the vibe. It feels infected or tainted in a sense.
Do I have to roll an arcana for it, or could Auric already determine where it's coming from?
You can roll an arcana.
Okay.
You should let me use cruelty in battle.
No.
No.
You'd have to convince cruelty to help, and he won't help.
He feeds.
My sheet is taking forever to load, so I apologize.
Have you ever tried fighting and eating? kind of difficult.
Yeah. Like, you should really let me use cruelty. What the fuck?
No,
I don't think Max is gonna let you use cruelty.
Does he have also all these abilities, or just specifically the stats?
he has those abilities.
That's terrifying. And this man lives on my waist.
Yes.
No, Max DMs. I just DM'd you something.
21.
So you can tell that this is coming from cruelty.
Hmm. After maybe 10 minutes of kind of like this tense silence, and this would be when Oric would probably have figured out what was going on. He's going to stand up from his seat and give a big stretch and say, "So, um, I was wondering about everything. I lost exactly what I was gonna say. I am so sorry, Max.
Great job.
I ate it.
You ate it.
Cruelty
You
I
got
ate
ate it. It's in my belly. I got a little famished.
um uh I was wondering a few more things about Idris if you guys would be comfortable with talking about that.
I mean,
M-
go ahead.
Max is dying. Let's pass the time with these few messages. I'm sorry.
And he is referring specifically to more like Sopez, Zil, Odysseus, and maybe Kree, but not necessarily Kree.
I mean, Sopez wouldn't mind, but he'd look to Zill.
Zill, Zill would look at Orc and just nod. Like, she wouldn't have a verbal response, she would just kind of nod. And Orc could also tell that despite, like, the tension in the cart, like, she seems completely unbothered and not affected by it at all.
That's one of his worries, so he's kind of happy about that. But he says, I was wondering just a little bit more about his past, I guess. Um, I will be honest, the night after it happened, I kind of panicked. I spoke to my mom about Idris, and she just comforted me. And then I spoke to Miss Karis, and she wasn't very enlightening either. Um, so I wanted to know a little bit more about Idris's motives, if that's okay.
I guess that is fine, but what exactly do you mean by that, motives?
Well, Idris was a really nice person, and from what I can tell, he was also really old, you know? And I know with Zenith, at least, he got tired of humanity for a while. So I was curious how he was able to stand humanity, if you understand what I mean.
He was away from it, excuse me, a lot. Why do you think our house is so far away from any town? Idris
Because
knew a lot of people in his life. He helped a lot of people, but despite that, he was very lonely. And I think in a way he preferred it like that. If you'll notice, most of the people around him are also immortal. We've just kind of been us for a while.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Also, out of character, Eli, if I say anything that is incorrect, correct me. Because I'm just going based off like what we've talked about, but if I say anything correct, just let me know.
Yeah, I will.
Uh, actually, uh, Oric, I have a question. Well, more of a small request, if you don't mind me asking.
Um, of course. Go ahead and ask. I do have a couple more questions as long as Sills and Zopez are okay with me asking them, but I'll hear you out first.
No. You ask those questions first, and then when you're done, I will ask my. requests.
Okay. I was also wondering. This is going to sound odd, but Idris was a paladin, right?
Double check. Elon, was
Yes.
he?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
a paladin.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a paladin, but I knew that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just double checking. I know his trauma, not his status. Like, um,
That's relatable.
yes. Yes, Idris was a paladin.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Hmm.
Character waiting for him to pull out a list that he had written
Yeah.
So
down.
actually, I was debating on whether or not he would pull it out.
He's
Um,
just eyeing it. It's like on his side. He's just like, no, I got a question.
so you do see Auric, like he picks at his chin for a moment, and you see him go to his like little froggy pack. I think I've seen a picture of it before, right? Like it's a little frog
Yeah.
face thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he like pulls it open and goes, "Okay, so there's those two questions. Um, hmm. Oh, if you're comfortable with sharing it, I wanted to ask what your most positive experience with him was. You know,
Zil
memories."
just kind of looks at him, and it's like she seemed shocked by the answer. Like she seems genuinely surprised.
What was the
Um,
question again?
he's
Most
asking for like a
positive like
he's
memory.
asking for like a good memory that like Zil has of Idris. God, I don't know.
I have a funny one that Sophos would have.
Go ahead.
Sopas can go first.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
As much as it's joked about, blowing up the barn.
Wait, the barn with all the animals in it?
That's the one.
What? Can I ask how that happened? I mean, that's
W- Well, I'm not the best with magic, so Idris was teaching me how to use magic. He was gone one day. He had to help uh, old friends, and one of the names were scratched out. So I went to cast it. Nothing happened. I tried casting it again. Then there's a boom, and then the barn was on fire. I casted Fireball on said barn.
oh, wow, that is a very dangerous spell. I mean, I would know. And Oric kind of like holds his hand out, and a small ball of fire just appears in it. I get to deal with it a lot.
And like Cruelty kind of like looks up at Soaps and he says, "You asked me why I knew about that. I was there with Idris.
You were there?
With Idris.
Why?
Why?
As I was trying to sell drugs to the party he was helping."
I mean, fair enough. But at least that's how you know.
Good memories.
He did sell drugs to a part of the party.
He sold drugs to Specs.
It's
And
up the front because I remember Misery bought a lot of it,
yeah, no, Misery bought Kaiju blood, remember?
and he still has it.
Fucking Specs bought a shit ton of poison from him.
Yeah. Elise didn't buy shit. She was having a breakdown the entire time.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
but
he didn't die around that time.
but
We're getting
that's
off
what
track.
Sophos would have said.
Well, even I hope the animals are okay though. I
No,
mean, that
they were
this is
perfectly fine. Idris did run into the fire though.
that's good.
Believe it or
Can I
not, that's
ask?
not the first time he blew up the barn.
He blew it up twice? And Oric actually gives a small chuckle.
Maybe. We don't talk about the second time.
If
What
you want,
happened on that
Mr.
second time?
Lopez. Go ahead, Mist.
What happened on that second time?
I don't even fully understand. It just kind of happened one time.
Out of character, he was trying to cast banishment.
No, I don't think banishment would lead to fireball.
That's the whole exact point.
No, he doesn't fuck up that badly.
Hmm. Well, Mr. Sopez, if you want to learn magic, I can try and teach you some of the things I know. I know a little bit of arcane magic from my studies in college. I also know a lot of natural magic.
He'd kind of
Hey,
like
hold
throw
on.
his head back and forth before shrugging and saying, I mean, I wouldn't be against that.
Um, just whenever you're up for it. You don't.
Alright.
You, I mean, I could
Um,
start by showing you how to cast. Hold on. Let me look at Oric's cantrips real quick. Um, I could start off by showing you how to cast Spare the Dying. It's a very it's a easy-ish cantrip to learn. It also is really helpful.
quick question before anything. You said you went to college? I mean, from your size and your voice, how
Yes.
would you be in college?
When I was born, I was taken to a place called the College of the Fallen Star. Uh, I grew up there for 14 years. Well, technically 8, but I'm 14 now, and I've continued my studies since I left.
So you were just put in a college area, and I guess then you always were put to study. I mean, if you're only 14, that's very young.
Yes, but I had a good time with it. My teachers were quite nice. My mom coached me through it a lot, when I was stressed. I kind of just grew to learn and live with all the stress that I got from it. But the stress
Ooh,
wasn't that bad,
about that.
honestly.
Ooh.
If I remember correctly, by the time I was 8 and I had technically graduated, I graduated with I believe, a degree in natural sciences.
Okay, then.
Man's really popping off. Out of character.
He is flexing on all of us right now. Now, so care.
No, that's me flexing on all of you. Haha, me
You can't
being the
flex.
only one in college in this friend group.
You can't flex when you have debt. I'm sorry.
You're right.
I'm sorry.
No, that was a good one. That was a good one. You
Anyways,
cannot
Yeah, you
apologize for
flex
that.
that debt.
But
Show it
anyway,
off.
yeah, Mr. Sopaz, I'd be willing to teach you any kind of magic you like. I don't really know divine magic. That's because I don't try to concern myself with the gods all that much.
You assumed my world has college debt?
I was talking to Levi.
We were poking fun at Levi.
Yeah, they were
Okay,
Not
I
poking fun at
was
not
me.
about
Orin.
to
No,
say.
I don't
I
think
was
Max's world
about
has
to
college debt.
say.
I think it's free.
This is a fantasy world. No
This is
college
a
debt here.
fantasy world. Fuck
No, I no, I
Just
colleges.
think
ignore the
no,
failing economy in the other
It's not
country.
failing anymore, you
no, I'm
idiot.
pretty sure
Yeah,
there will
you're
be
right.
college
You're right.
debt just because of the failing economy, man. You cannot deny that because
Hey,
that's
the country
pushing
is fine now.
record
Ambule
break.
is helping with it right
Yeah,
now. She
Ambule and
got
Elise got to
Far
work.
from fine.
they worked their asses off.
Um, Miss Sill, if you do not feel comfortable with the question, you obviously don't have to answer.
It's not so much that as I was just a bit taken back. Most people don't want just memories or stories when they talk about Idris. I always expect people to ask for about his accomplishments and what he did, because he was a renowned soldier and sailor, and he did a lot with his life. I'm not used to people wanting to know him?
Well, accomplishments are nice and all, but memories are what truly matter, in my opinion.
I
Now I
guess I
was gonna
have.
say Auric, you're. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead first.
And I actually legitimately forgot what I was gonna say. Well, shit.
Okay, then I'll
Max ate
go.
it. It's in his tummy.
Max ate
Well,
it. God, Max,
Max.
stop.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I have one kind of funny memory. It was still early on when Idris and I had met each other, but I'm so sorry, out of character, I got a DM and I was not anticipating that. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to trying
Okay,
to
then
focus
it's
now.
Patty.
Anyway,
Contrast.
shut the fuck up.
We're on call.
Listen, I wasn't expecting the DM. I got the notification. I read it. Shit.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Go.
I do have one more funniest story. It was around early on when Idris and I had known each other for the first few hundred years. That time frame, though. We were at a tavern with some people we were talking to and helping out. And some people had convinced Idris to join in on a drinking game with me. I'm sure many of you have noticed alcohol
Yeah.
doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been
I did.
hilarious then. I can only imagine it.
Well,
Was it worth it? Yes.
it was to a point. It's more of a bittersweet memory, because admittedly, past a certain point, Idris becomes more of a sad drunk. Just
Oh,
lots of memory. Just lots of memories he doesn't really know how to handle. And he's a bit emotionally stunted.
Emotional.
I do not. So Auric knows the word. Levi doesn't. Can you explain what stunted means? Real quick. I can.
Emotionally stunted, stunted is when something like stops, like lacking. Basically, it's like not the correct way to describe it,
It
but like
stopped prematurely.
yeah, stop prematurely. It's like stunted.
So I have bones in my feet. I have growth plates in my feet that are stunted because they stopped growing for some reason
Yes.
prematurely.
He's emotionally stunted, meaning he's bad at processing emotions.
Okay. Thank you.
Basically, in context, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Levi did not know that. Auric does.
Orc is intelligent.
Auric is intelligent. Levi is not. So that's what a college education gets for you folks. Anyway.
Don't go to college, kids. Not worth it. Don't do it.
Unless you want to be like a doctor or something, please go to college.
Yeah, please do that.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're a doctor, go to college.
Doctor
Please.
or
Yeah.
lawyer, go to college.
Yeah.
Everyone else, drop out, no debt.
Wanna go to
I mean,
college.
I am technically. Anyway,
Anyways,
That's why you're dropping.
Auric does give us like a small smile and say that while a sad memory at the same time is a good memory, you know?
Zill nods and she looks to the side, and you can tell that there's a little bit more to the specific memory she's thinking of that she's leaving out a little bit.
Auric could assume why.
Out of
I'm
character, I'll
assuming.
tell you what it is because it's funny.
Is it about his wife?
Yes and no. Well, out of character, it's because that same night was like he called her pretty when he got really drunk, and then he cried afterwards.
Because of his wife.
Because emotionally damaged and stunted, guys.
Yep.
Anyways,
But yeah.
Levi is Orc done.
Auric's done. So Auric like he rolls up the list and says, well, maybe I'll ask more later. I know Nihilus needs something. What do you need, Mr. Nihilus?
And you do not have to say yes to this. I'm just so curious about this.
Hmm?
Well, could you possibly ask your mother what she knows about Zowls.
Oh, you
Yeah,
want to know about Souse?
I have little to no information besides flashbacks and what I've been told, and what I've been told is not a lot.
Mm, well, I was going to call her anyway
You don't
later
have
tonight.
to.
Well, I was going to call her and discuss with her about the sedative that was on that bullet. I wanted to see if she could help me identify, well, the amounts that were on the bullet.
Mm. Also, if you want me to owe you anything,
Oh,
I will.
no. I'll do it. Obviously, you're asking me a favor. That's okay. You don't owe me anything. I mean, you kind of technically Zenith and I already owe you for A, letting us live in your cart, B, driving us everywhere in your cart, and C, kind of also fighting with us and protecting the party. So,
Honestly, I think the reason why Calypso's letting you guys stay because she likes at least some of you. I don't know about all, but I know she likes you.
she likes me. All I do is give her sugar cubes and talk to her.
I think it's the sugar cubes and also possibly talking to her, and then she could probably rant about. Noah stops as he's remembering some things. Yeah.
Um, all right.
Anyway, yeah.
Hmm. Okay, I can talk to her about that. I have no quarrel with doing it. Although, I hope she just doesn't get mad about me knowing that.
I hope she doesn't get mad at me because I don't know if Zeus did anything wrong towards some gods. Because sometimes I get visions of him, of some of them saying some stuff to him, and some of the words are not kind.
I mean,
I'm also horrified if Aurelius is on my back due to Calypso, but we're not going to talk about that.
I wonder if that. Actually, speaking of that, I wonder if that high priestess noticed what Calypso was.
I hope she doesn't.
Wait, what is Calypso? Isn't Calypso a horse?
Yes. Yes and no. She is a horse, even in her other form. Yes. She's just a
She
special
is?
horse. She's nice.
Just
She's
let
nice.
me. Just tell me.
She's what? She's called a hellhest. I don't really know a lot about her species, though she chose to be with me, and that's all that really matters, honestly. She helps us get places. You can try asking her about it. I seen you talk with her. She doesn't seem bothered by it, I think. I can't talk to animals, so I don't know.
Speaking of that, do you want me to start working on something so you can use that spell?
Actually, yes, I would appreciate that. Probably help with communications too, instead of me just assuming what she wants.
I can't necessarily make spell scrolls like Mr. Astral, but I can. When Miss Bluma gets back, maybe I can speak with her and help her and have her help me make something.
I'm sure you two can think something up together. That's also if Bluma is in a good mood when she gets back, because I don't know what the other party is like over there, so.
Mm,
Don't worry. They are nice over there, like extremely nice. Like, I'm sorry, I'm front, but the opposite of you guys.
We
Never mind.
are. He looks at the party. He looks back at Farley. We are a lot, and this is a tense moment. Usually we're not.
Walter speaks up and he says, I get 3 meals a day out of these guys. More, and I feed on tension and the actions, the negative action of others. So that should basically give you all your information.
So that's why you're
That's
still around.
and if the I'm guessing like you guys call it cruelty. I think if I heard that correctly, but you guys have a person that goes up and admits of eating negative emotions. The fact that he's able to feed off of that emotion from just you guys alone proves my point.
We're
Like
just
all of you are dysfunctional.
also we just met like
2 weeks ago, I think.
I think more than that. But still,
Oh wait,
weeks.
hold on. No, a month. About a month ago.
Yeah, and we haven't had enough time to sit down and actually talk properly because we've been dealing with shit.
Eh, sometimes people just need time, in my
Uh,
experience.
in that case, you need to you guys need to talk as soon as possible before you do anything else.
I mean, we can talk on the road, which we probably should, maybe.
You might want to talk with a person that technically replaced.
What was that
Because
last?
I think I recommend you talk with a person that switched places with me as well, because everything I'm hearing is that she's very destructive, very brass, and well, I think like you need the one that's I think might be the most dysfunctional to be there to understand things as well. But seriously, you just need to talk. Like, stop everything. Just talk. Give yourselves like a month to know who you guys are. Because only been here like like a day and a half. For now, a day and a bit in the morning. But you guys hide so much stuff. Like, it's insane. I mean, I get about keeping privacy, but some of this is something that you should tell people up front. I mean, especially with Zill.
That's not a good idea probably actually. Um, because people do need to keep secrets. It is kind of vital if you think about it. And if
It is.
I'm being honest, it's okay that that's kept a secret because it's what Zill thinks is best. What a person's opinion is what matters. Don't don't base is what I'm saying. Don't base yourself off of other people's opinions of you. Base yourself based on what you're based off of, like mentally. I did not explain that well, or I could have explained that much better. I spaced
You could
out
have explained a lot better,
heavily.
man.
Um,
Yeah, I had no idea
basically, what
that you
Oric is
said
trying
that.
to say is you should not base yourself off of someone else's opinions of you. You should base yourself on what you believe you are.
I wasn't saying about opinions. I'm saying that uh, explaining a few things that will be important. I mean, since you guys been kind of open with me, I'm just gonna say what things are mine. And I mean, this is my secret. I don't really hide much. I mean, my parents are actual dragons. I just I was adopted by them, and I don't mention it. It's relevant, but what I'm hearing, this is something that is different. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna put this away or hide this away, and then only when it's like convenient, just
Sometimes
express it.
people hide things for multiple reasons. I have some things that I didn't even mention to this party yet.
Same here with Zenith and I. We have more to our story. We just don't want to talk about it. It's
I
a bit
don't
traumatizing.
I don't know what it's like over or if it's just a you thing. But sometimes if people know a lot about you, they can easily manipulate you or use you if they
It's
know how
exactly
you
what
work
Corsanis
fully.
does as well. And
Also, I'm pretty sure a lot of us here has trust issues.
I mean, the fact that you just said that does prove you got trust issues.
I'm sure possibly in time we will get along better. But from what I gather, different groups of people take different times to adjust to others around them. You have your points, and I get that. But I feel like for this group, we just need a time where it's not really so tense, especially when we're on a mission to get even with this guy, Corsandus.
speaking of Corsandus, Zenith, like he has been kind of like laying, like simmering down in the back, and he just kind of says, in his, in his normal kind of semi-aggressive tone, I'm still. We do need to find a way for Oric and I to actually attack Corsandus.
What do you mean?
I don't know if you noticed or not, but
I would.
I am not able to actually attack Corsandus.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
I did not notice mainly because I was kind of running towards him at the time,
That's
or
understandable.
I was focusing on getting Bluma, so all of those shadow things. Those hurt, by the way. Like holy shit.
Yes, yes, but Oric and I cannot attack him for reasons we will not disclose at this moment.
Is it a curse?
You could call it that. You could
That's
also call it an insurance policy.
smart on his part, I guess. But I'm sure there's a way. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what, but I'm sure there's a way.
Mm.
So we also have to figure out that.
That's why, as Oric stated earlier, he would like to try and make that sedative that the sniper used, or if we can find the sniper, that we can get some of it.
Or if possible, we could try to have him help us. I don't know if it's possible, but
Zill,
they
would that
shot
be possible?
they shot Corsandus for a reason, obviously at the hand, but
I have not spoken to Abel in a very long time.
Hmm.
I think he might be willing to help us to get rid of Corsandus, but I cannot be sure.
All right. Whatever happens, happens. Just yes, that's about it. Honestly, I can't really think of anything else I'd say.
also, Riley, if you're going to be traveling with us, do you mind telling us what can you do? If you don't mind, you don't have to.
She basically looks at her clothing and then looks back at everybody else. I mean, you guys, how much? To be honest with you, I could punch it.
I see.
I
All
like
right.
her. Punching things is really fun.
Yes, someone I can relate to.
I don't find it fun. I just find myself fun. And also, when something needs to be done and taken care of, I just do it. It has nothing to do with fun, to be honest. It's just a way to protect myself.
All right. I just mainly use
Other
this
than that,
sword, and I just turn into a werewolf sometimes.
Yeah,
she looks like
we heard
they
you
like
earlier.
very like
I didn't know she heard me.
disappointed. No,
I was
she
teasing
did,
you.
but she's trying to respond to then like
Oh, I'm sorry,
is
I did
that
not hear you. I was responding to Nihilus. Go ahead.
Also, your mic is shit as always.
I mean, like sorry if that disappoints you, but that's how I am.
That
Don't
does not
I don't
disappoint me.
necessarily go for violence.
No, I just used to be a raider of sorts, I guess you could call me. Violence is in my nature.
You enjoy it. Do you enjoy it?
Not anymore. But I did used to. My home was not a good home.
I hope things are better for you then. And as for you, nice. I guess it's alright if I just hang out with you more often.
I don't care. You can.
I think there's uh to be honest, I'm just hoping that the week passes as soon as possible. I'll go back.
I'm sure you'll be able to go back. Just give it a week or so.
Yeah, I know. I just hope the week goes by fast.
So I am forcing a time skip.
Yeah, sorry
Yeah,
about that.
I was waiting for it, honestly. That was kind of dragging on.
Well, character moments.
Yeah, I was just giving you guys to finish up the conversation. But so you guys are kind of like you're a couple minutes out from the town, like a half hour out from the town. That's not a couple minutes, but you aren't far from this town that you guys are heading to. And you hear the high priestess Arane or Arania
Arabia.
Arania. Hear her voice coming from the sending stones. And she just says, "I found a way that you guys can get some information. There's there are some associates of this sniper hanging out at a tavern in Cormay.
All right.
The tavern is called the Weeping Willow. Be
Noted.
careful. These are,
Does Zill recognize this name?
I mean, it's a fairly common tavern name.
Just want to say
Okay,
that
that's why I'm like,
sounds familiar in general.
Anyways,
The
what would
Weeping Willow is from Harry Potter.
uh,
That's why
what would
it's familiar.
you say?
well,
Like,
no, I meant
That's
as a
the
tavern.
Whomping Willow.
No, it's the Weeping Willow.
Is it? There's a tavern in Harry Potter called Weeping Willow?
No, the
No, there's
Weeping
a
Willow, the
tree.
tree. It's a tree.
No, that's the Whomping Willow.
Wait, did I
It's
just
the
get Mandela
Anyway,
effect? I swear it was the man.
No, it's the
anyway,
Whomping Willow because it fucking
oh,
whomps people.
anyway,
Anyway.
guys.
Apologies.
No, you're good. Um, so, um,
you said be careful of what?
he says, "Be careful of this crowd. They are, how do I say? they're considered hired assassins. They may not be easy to deal with.
Fun people, it sounds like.
But after that, she kind of like cuts off the sending stone.
Fun people, I bet. Lovely at parties, most likely. This is all out of character, I want to say.
Anyway, does anyone want to do anything on the way to this
Actually,
city, or
I kind of want to start bleeding into some vials and then putting them into the refrigerator.
okay?
Just gonna save
Uh,
those.
Does
I
Oric
don't get the
sees Nihilus do this?
Oh, what did you say?
Which one? Riley or me?
Levi first.
Does Oric see Nihilus do this?
Yeah, like he has like a regular dagger out, and he has vials right next to him as it's kind of bleeding into the vial. Yeah, what was it, Miss?
I'm just saying that everywhere where I've seen it.
Yeah. And let's go.
Oric, like seeing this, you see him kind of jump out of his seat and dig into his bag, and he pulls out a pair of gloves. And you see him quickly put them on and run up to you. He says,
First aid. I'm sorry.
No, similar to what he was gonna do. He's gonna go, Mr. Nihilus, you should have told me you were going to do that. You could have had sterilization. You could have had someone actually help you.
I'm okay. If you want to help, okay.
And you see him cast I can't say the spell. I can't say the cantrip.
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation, right? Prestidigitation.
Yeah.
On his gloves a few times, and then he immediately starts helping, like you. Practically, he's showing off his anatomy skills.
I would like to say that Kree and Sopez would have been like play fighting as
Oh,
well. But he also would have noticed this and like seemed really confused when he saw the blood. It would kind of be like it'd be like he would know what it is, but also didn't at the same time. But he would end up going back to fighting with Sopez. Well, play fighting and winning.
Punch
gets
his
thrown across.
What do you even need the blood for, Mr. Nihilus?
I'm a blood hunter. Remember?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I try not to do it in public because some places they do not allow hemo.
No, I understand. I did study it a little bit back when I was in college. But you need to make sure to actually sterilize so you don't, get infections.
Well,
If you need help with that, I can teach you how to sterilize yourself.
I kind of do, but sometimes I don't.
Well, it's as simple as pouring alcohol over your hands most of the time. But I'd like to use prestidigitation to do it as well. So, if you need help, I can help.
All right, if you want to, just make sure to put the vials into the fridge or the code box or whatever.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
the ice chiller. I see.
yes, that was the original purpose when we met, because it was Bluma's idea actually
Oh,
to do this.
you guys need to get a stove in here. I could start baking.
Sure, within due time.
I
Knowing
want to say Nidus will know that uh, about how Bluma specifically makes her campfires to basically act like a stove and her, and that she could easily make one if asked.
yeah, now it says yes, you can easily make one. Actually, I feel like eventually we may need to renovate the cart.
Well, if you do that, could I request a stove and a potion making workbench so that I can actually start helping you guys sell potions.
You know what? Whenever Bloomwood gets back and we ever get enough money to possibly renovate the cart or get a bigger cart, you can help her with that.
Beyond the grave, I don't care. Beyond the grave, they both hear 1,000 gold, bitch, in Bluma's voice.
Funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the actual story instead of this side thing.
Anyways,
Yeah, I'm skipping a half hour and we're going
Story.
straight to the town.
yeah. How many vials do I get?
How much damage are you willing to take?
Max,
Yeah, because the whole blood hunter thing is that
And
you're taking
take
death.
10d6. Do it.
don't tempt me, Levi. You know I would.
How much damage would you typically take for doing that in battle?
Well, it's usually. Let me check the him.
It's
It'll be
a specific
D6.
dice that he rolled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
I know.
a die that he rolls.
I
Yes, I
believe it's
know.
level based, so whatever
Yeah,
level you are right
and,
now. So.
and we're level 8, so that's a D6 right now.
How many d6s do you want to take? The d6 per vial.
10.
I like that funny. I like your funny words, Magic Man. I'm doing 20. I'm kidding.
Do 20. Do it, coward.
No, I'm gonna
Do
do
it.
4. I'm gonna do 4
Fight it,
later.
bitch!
Maybe over a long rest. I'm gonna do it, but no, I'm gonna do 4.
I'm gonna roll the damage of 20d6 real quick because I'm a bit curious.
I accidentally killed.
It wouldn't
Nihilus
instantly
fast.
kill him.
No, but it would hurt.
Nihilus.
There's
It
no
hurt a
damage right
lot.
there.
It would hurt a lot.
After like the 20th vial, he's like, "I'm feeling," and he just passes
I
out.
can do one
Nihilus
more.
just accidentally slices open a major artery.
I can survive that.
I'm not a
My orc
masochist.
wants to
I'm
help.
just seeing how much my body can take.
13 damage. Let's go.
Okay.
Reject.
So as you guys basically get to this town, you find the tavern fairly easily. It seems to be pretty busy tonight. Like it seems to be fairly busy, I will say. Do you guys go in?
Yeah, sure.
I would like to say
Sure.
that when they
Marty
do.
will want to drink it and taste what they have in this area.
Okay. So as you guys walk in, you see a group of soldiers looking type people celebrating at a table. These soldiers range from Leonins to Felis's to Tabaxi.
You said Leonins?
Mm-hmm.
Cat,
Cat.
fight, cat. I'm sorry.
Pussy fight. Pussy
Oh,
fight.
don't say that.
Don't say that. You Don't
YouTube
make
will be
Daddy-
angry.
don't
Don't get
Daddy
daddy
YouTube
YouTube
angry at me.
YouTube.
Does anyone want to
Don't.
do anything first?
Nope.
Zill is
I
gonna
am
look
not
around and see.
finishing
Yeah, Max isn't done,
describing the
but
people. I
yeah.
just fucking yeah. Anyway,
I will.
there's that group. They're fairly loud. They're celebrating, and then not very far away from them, like fairly close to them actually. Really, seems to be a kids' table. Of there's a couple elves. There's like gnomes. They're a bunch of children at this table, and they're like coloring, they're getting along, they're laughing. They
Uh-oh.
seem to be playing party games. Um
Y'all have to put him in the fucking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and there's you have the classic there's a band in the corner. this band consists of what looks like a lizard folk, a two lizard folks, um, a overly hairy triton, a vampire, and you in the corner near this band, you can see a draconic-ish human with a small child. Smaller child. No, wait, that's just a child. So
Huh. That sounds familiar. I wonder who that is.
I wonder who that is.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Wait, what did you say?
at the bar, it's a band. It has two. Well, no, it's not two lizard folks. It is one lizard folk, a changeling, overly hairy triton, and a vampire, as well as sitting at a table sitting near them is a draconic-ish human and a child who
Hmm.
um who looks to be about like 12-ish. But at over
Actually,
across the tavern at the bar, there is another tabaxi, but he does not seem to be a part of this group. He is basically as white as snow. Like his fur is almost blinding, and
Max,
he looks to be fairly old. But that besides the barkeep, that's everyone who's here.
I would actually like to approach the band,
Okay.
and I need to find his name. Does he look familiar, the Triton?
Yes,
Right.
yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Um. So Nihilus is going to say, "Oh, hey, Victor. Didn't think you would be here."
And he turns to you at the sound of his name, and he smiles at you. He says, "Nihilus, what are you doing here? I didn't think. I don't really think we have much jurisdiction in this part."
What the fuck did he just say?
I don't know what I
Jurisdiction?
just said. I don't know what I just said.
Is that even English?
No.
Are you saying jurisdiction?
Jurisdiction. I have a speech impediment. Fuck off.
So can
I
can
was
you
like,
repeat
"Trust
that
me."
again?
He says he said, "What are you doing like he said, "What are you doing here? I didn't think we had jurisdiction in this part."
Well, I'm actually traveling with another group for now, at least. I had to do a thing, so I'm just traveling with them for a little bit. How are you
And
doing?
lively as ever. Band's doing great.
That's nice.
The the are the well, I say the band, but it's really the band plus.
Oh,
As like he kind of motions to the draconic human and the child.
oh, are they new?
They're Araves? Yeah, they're not Avare. They're
Oh,
they're Arave's family.
Ah, all right. I think you talked about them a little bit. I think.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
But
I,
that is the like he points to the human. He says that is Loxus, and a little girl. Her name is Rosin.
Huh?
Loxus is here. That's right. So Pez knows Loxus.
I'm gonna talk to the Luxus man. Anyway, continue.
Oh, you also have a Kree tailing behind you and holding your hand, so
Yeah, fair enough. But anyway, you guys can continue. I'm sorry.
anyways, Nihilus is just gonna catch up with them. Honestly,
Okay.
not telling him. He's not gonna tell him the depressing parts. Obviously, he's gonna leave those out. So everyone else
Um.
can do their thing.
Okay. Does anyone else would anyone else like to do anything?
I would.
Loxus.
I want to have Zill just look around and see if there's anyone she recognizes.
You recognize the old
We're gonna
tabaxi at the
just be
bar.
getting drink.
Okay.
Okay, I'll have Zill approach them, but obviously let Sopes do the Loxus thing first.
Would you
So,
like to
so
flex, Alexis, Max?
I'm handing Loxus fully over to you.
Oh, let's go.
I
Okay.
don't know how this man acts.
I was
Oh,
gonna say
fair
like
enough.
Lopez was going to go to Loxus's table, but he would notice that
He
Kree
acts
kind of
like a bitch.
wanted to go to the coloring table.
Well, it's been 10 years.
He
okay,
doesn't want to go alone first.
okay. How about this? I'll drop Kree off at the coloring table. Do you want me to do that?
Go ahead. He can color.
So what would happen is, as kind of like everyone walks in and kind of spreads out, he would see the coloring table. He's like, Kree likes coloring. Then he'd look to Kree. Kree, do you want to go color for now?
Honestly, his eyes would kind of sparkle at hearing coloring, and he'd just like timidly nod, but kind of look around the tavern because people.
I have no clue how to do this. I am not a good
So
parent.
I would say that there is not really a open seat at this coloring table, but there is like a little like coloring sheet at every like table.
Oh, so is there like an empty table per se?
Yes, there is.
Okay. So is leaving Kree at a table by himself a good idea?
I mean,
It'll
as
be
long as you're
fine.
watching
We can-
him.
Yeah, it's like Zill can also see him, so
Okay.
you're good.
He
Yeah.
also has his buddies
Yeah, fair
who see
enough.
him cruelty.
That man stays in the jar.
Bro.
Wait, are we in the tavern or are we in an IHOP?
You're in a tavern. That
He's very kid friendly.
it's very kid friendly, obviously by the kids table.
Yeah, but Sopes would lead Kree to one of the tables before before just speaking, stay here for now. I am going to go talk to someone and you can color as much as you want right now.
And he just like nod his head and kind of. He honestly stopped listening when he saw the coloring paper.
Oh no,
Ground.
we're not getting him back from this table.
No, you're not.
We're gonna have to drag him.
But do you walk over?
Yes, I walk over to the Loxus dude.
Loxus, you see an old friend walk over.
So, Loxus is obviously paying more attention at like he would notice Sopes, but previously he had been paying attention to his child and his wife. But when he would notice Sopes, Sopes, you see Loxus stand up. He's kind of actually more open about himself, I guess you could say. He kind he he doesn't really wear armor, as from what you could notice. He's kind of wearing like a normal shirt. He's letting out his draconic and Draconic. He's letting himself actually be seen, rather than what he did previously. From
Yeah.
when you were in that party, he's letting his scales actually be shown. His tail's actually out, and it's sort of wagging. But we're not going to talk about that. But the second he sees you, he goes, "Well, you look like you haven't aged a day. Sopes, come give me a hug, man." And like he's like opening his arms.
Sopes would give like kind of like that really bullshit sigh before just walking in and accepting that hug. Loxus,
Oh,
it's
look
good
at
to
you.
see you.
It's good to see you too. And like Loxus is giving you a little nuggie.
No,
The
he's
bromance is
trying
back.
to push away.
Yeah, you haven't aged a day. I'm kind of shocked. And as you can see, I've grown this awesome beard.
Well, it looks good on you, and I have my own reasons for not looking like I've aged?
I'm not gonna ask. You and,
Well,
well, you know.
you would probably. I mean, Loxus would probably notice the eyes.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good point.
like so,
Yeah.
like Loxus, it like y- Soaps. When you say like, or when you guys are talking about how Soaps is the age of day, Loxus, you hear Calliope, the vampire band member, and just shout, or not really shout, but kind of like talk over to everyone, like talk over to you guys and say, "Yeah, vampires don't fucking age."
Yeah, I know. Remember, I thought I used to be a monster hunter. Apparently not. I'm okay with that.
The man just whipped it out like it was nothing.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Can't blame you there.
How have you been? It's been, God, it's been maybe 10 years?
Yeah, about 10 years or a little longer, but it's been it's been alright. I'll tell you that much. Wrapped up in some more bullshit.
I'm not shocked, honestly.
Anyway, okay.
Yeah, but how are you?
Oh, I'm heavenly. I'm the happiest I've ever been. Honestly. I have little Rose in here, and I also have my wife. I'm living
Rosen,
a
by the
life.
way, is like her father has looked away from her for 3 seconds, so
Oh no.
she now has basically somehow gotten the hold of you're not even sure what she's gotten a hold of, but this 12-year-old is
A
currently
gun.
harassing a rat with it.
Yes, another
Rosen,
backpack
Rosen,
kid.
let go of that dagger. Give it to me.
What do you
What do you
have?
have?
A knife!
No.
It's just like me
Don't
kissing
worry, that's
the
free.
same meme.
And like Loxus just gives you a small wave and immediately runs after Rosen, like chasing her around the bar by now, I'm assuming, or around the tavern by now.
Not really around the tavern, just like down a couple, like down the at least the first row of tables.
Also, a small thing I want to add while Nihilus is talking to Victor, he actually looks, besides his normal depressed self, he actually looks genuinely happy. Anyways, continue on. That's just something small I wanted to add.
After getting, the dagger away from his daughter, he does walk back, but keep a close eye on Rosen now, and he says, anyway, sorry about that, little troublemaker. There, wanted to play with some rats. I
I can
don't know
see
where she got
that.
this dagger.
We don't talk about where kids get things.
Yeah. So, what have you been up to that you've gotten
Anyway,
into, well, whatever.
I'm gonna move on from this small talk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So,
yeah, go
go.
ahead.
um, Zil, as you walk up to this older tabaxi, you kind of are like, how the fuck is this man still alive? Tabaxi don't live this long. Um, and you
Still
would
doesn't
know
question how
him.
people are alive anymore. To be honest.
Fair enough. But you would know him as Kiba Shivari.
As what?
Kiba Shivari.
Okay.
I did not say Shivari. I had a fucking speech impediment moment.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Um, but specifically, he is known as Kiba the God Slayer.
Oh, fuck you. Out of character. Fuck you, because you just made that character on fucking Skyrim.
Yeah, I told you that he was an actual character in my world.
But you did not.
Yes, I did. I told you he is an actual
Did
character in my
not.
world. He's important to lore. But
Uh-huh.
Zil, you know him because you
Lore.
worked with him, specifically with the god he quote unquote slayed.
Do I know which god would that be? If you don't want to say it, you can just.
Specifics.
Okay. Which god is that? Wait a minute.
He's not there for a reason.
Wait, which god did
Okay.
you say?
Corsithics.
Are you Corsivix? Is that what you said?
Corsithics.
Or Scythics.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to ask. Oh,
Anyway. So, do you say anything to him, Sil?
She would just walk up and greet him and just do the standard, "It's been a while."
And Kiba looks to you and he says, "It certainly has. What brings you here?"
I mean, the party I'm traveling with and I are looking for some information.
And that is.
Would he know who, Abel is? Would
Yes.
he, like, all, okay. We are searching for Abel. Because we need Abel's help in finding someone else.
Abel isn't here at the moment, but this is where he has been hiding. He's not going to be here for a bit. Last I heard, he was hiding out in the mountains waiting for a caravan to come through. Supposedly traveling with someone important.
That was my caravan. And that someone important was someone who he shot. Someone who betrayed my party. Not who we thought they were. I need his help tracking him down because he killed Idris.
And like Kiba looks to you and like says and like Kiba looks to you and he says, "Ugh, he'll be back in a couple days."
Thank you.
And I'm sure he'll be glad to help you get revenge for to get revenge. It's clear that he was biting his tongue because he was going to say something that could have been considered mean, but he decided not to.
Throughout this conversation, Zill would. Oh, I don't know who I'm
Oh,
echoing
Isaac,
from.
your echo.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even realize.
You're fine. It was just really loud in that moment. Throughout this conversation, Zill would just be like tapping like a single finger, like in a way of like she's obviously trying to like focus on the conversation. So it's like she'd be like tapping a finger along the bar during this conversation. And she would just kind of look at him and she would kind of like raise an eyebrow to when he like she could tell he was holding something back. She would like raise an eyebrow as if to like ask him what he was gonna say.
And he simply like he lets out a drier chuckle and says, "I don't think you want me to call your dead boyfriend your boy toy, so."
At this, Zill actually like she has a very small like snort at that. And before she just kind of like playfully rolls her eyes. Like it seems like this isn't the first time she's heard this. That is fair, I guess.
And he says, like, he looks to her and he says, "Do you need room for the night?"
Personally, probably not, but my party will.
Obviously, you don't fucking sleep.
She kind of makes a knee, kind of like a me, shut the fuck up, kind of face at him, before just like rolling her eyes.
And he just simply, like, he hits the counter and shouts in. Sorry, I blanked. He shouts in language?
In a language.
In a language that isn't common that I can't remember the name of.
You're calling.
Dwarvish.
No,
The
I'm not.
language is called stupid.
Dwarvish. Dwarven.
Dwarvish.
Dwarven.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I fucking. Woo. It's okay.
No, it's not. Do better.
But after a couple seconds, this you guys kind of hear like a bump as like a string of curses as this big burly 8 foot tall ish red dragonborn lady comes out from behind the
Hey
or
yo.
like she comes out from behind the back. And she turns to Zil and she says, "Give me a moment. How can I help you?"
My party members and I will probably. Sorry. I also broke. My party members and I will need rooms for the night, if you have any.
Ah, we have plenty. Trust me, I plan on kicking that bunch out soon. And she seems to like have a glance at this group, this joviant group of um people,
Like
cats,
the
and their
army's
children.
people,
Yeah,
like military-looking people.
and
Yeah.
their children. Yeah, but she she just looks at you and says, "How many?"
Out of character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rooms?
One, two, three.
Well, because
Four,
obviously
five.
Zenith and Orc are gonna be together.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Oh,
counting all together. I think there's
Kree and
7.
Syl would probably be
Well,
roomed together
Sopez,
also.
Kree, and Zil don't need sleep, so they can just share one room. They won't
That's
need
true.
space.
Yeah.
Just for
Yeah,
stuff to
Kree
store it.
doesn't have to sleep.
Yeah.
But
So I would say 6. 6.
she just nods and says 60 gold. Um,
Alright, Zil
and
will just pay it on the thing.
okay, and yeah, she gives you the room keys and stuff.
Guys,
But
I'm
she
breaking my
says,
4,200 gold. No, my 420.
but she looks at you, Zil. She says, "There'll be free breakfast in the morning. My name is Helga. If you need anything, don't
I knew it
hesitate
was
to ask."
Helga.
Would Sopes recognize her?
Probably.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I
But
miss Helga. I'm not gonna lie.
we all loved Helga, bro. I missed
Elka
Helga.
was awesome.
No,
I
when
was
you
originally
said
gonna.
red dragonborn, I knew it was Helga, and I was like, yes.
Eden will still keep in contact with her because friends. I'm sorry. Continue.
But anyway, Zenith, what are you doing at this moment?
So first question, Max. Can Zenith and Auric tell what those military
Uh-huh.
people are?
Yep.
They can.
Mm-hmm.
Ha.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if Zil recognized just the military stuff.
No, Zil, you don't.
Okay.
I will mention specifically to anyone, in the party at least, who looks at Zenith or Auric, Zenith isn't really showing it, but Auric is kind of panicked. Like, he's hiding behind Zenith, almost constantly, and it does seem to have a big face of worry.
Good. Um, but
But Zenith, let's let it be known, Zenith and Auric are avoiding the military at all cost.
okay. Does anyone take a closer look at these people?
Zenith and Auric.
besides Zenith and Arc, because they'll
I would
know this.
say Zill would, because after, especially after Helga made the comment about them, she would like low-key like study them minorly. Just be
So
watching them.
they all seem to be celebrating, obviously. And there seems to be like a masked Leonin kind of leading it. And this Leonin, she seems to have like it's like attached to her side, but it seems to be like a symbol of something, like a banner with a symbol of something. And the symbol is a seal that has what seems to be just a very simple cloud, like a cloud with lightning coming out of it.
Would I recognize this?
Isaac.
Ugh.
Did it do it again?
Why is
Did
it
it
always
again.
when I speak? It's always me.
um, but Zil, roll a history check.
I'm good at this.
I can tell you're good at it. I could tell you're good at this by the.
Listen, I'm old for a reason.
Kirsten, I hope you get it. I hope you get it. I hope.
I'm crying. I got a nat one.
Oh,
Hey, so
fucking
guess what? Funny.
lucky.
Lucky. I'm gonna
Oh
lucky that. I
yes.
don't want to be the
Okay.
only one in pain here. I'm sorry.
Just like the one thing I should
There we
roll.
go. There we go. There we go. Good job. Good job. Good job. Um, so yes, you recognize this. That is, while it's not the full symbol, it is a seal of the Storm Order.
Hmm. Um. Obviously, I know who and what Storm Order is. So,
Mm-hmm.
is Helga still at the counter?
Yes.
So Helga would have said something about like them being rowdy and her possibly kicking them out. After like looking over at them and like inspecting like who and what they are, she would turn back to Helga and she's gonna go, "You might want to. They are not very friendly people. I know where they're from."
And she nods and just she like she goes back to the back. And before she does this, she turns to Zil and says, "You might want to move your party to their rooms."
She's getting the shotgun. Holy shit!
She would nod and then she would get up from the bar, say like a goodbye to the lovely Tabaxi. And then she would like walk over to each of the party, basically tell them and it's like, "Hey, here's your room key. You should probably go to your room for a minute."
Is gonna say, uh, bye to Victor and possibly talk to him later as he's going to go to his room. Then I guess.
Whenever she would go up to Auric and Zenith, would she be able to tell that they're uncomfortable?
Not necessarily Zenith. Zenith seems angry more than anything.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Auric, not uncomfortable, panicked that they're there.
yeah. Well, because they have told the party about them being hunted and like basically being tracked down by the Storm Order and like how they're horrible people and things like that. So, whenever Zill would like go to like give them their room key, she would like whisper to them very specifically, quiet enough so the like Leonins and Tabaxis who have powerful ears could not hear her. And just be like, they are about to be removed shortly. Do not worry about them and just go to your room.
Thank you, Zill. If it doesn't work, tell me. I would gladly cleave any of their heads off. And after saying that, Zenith uh, gives a small stance. He does seem to peer specifically at the children for a second before looking back to Auric, helping Auric up onto his back, and then walking to his room, very solemnly.
Um, Out of character, can I say it's really good that table did not have an open seat for Cree?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna do an interaction for roleplay for everyone else. It was just I want to do that for them. But yeah, Zill would give everyone else their room keys and everything. You'd just be like, "Yo, they're about to get kicked out. We should not be down here."
Fair enough.
Cree just
Sopez would try to get Kree away from the coloring. Bring it with him, if anything.
Yeah, just take it with you.
Cree would.
Man, I wonder what Helga's gonna do.
Pull out a shotgun. Apparently,
Yeah. Pretty
if
much.
she listen, if she needs help, there's a void walker upstairs.
But
No one messes with Helga.
you guys after like a couple actually
Oh,
Oh,
Wait. Oh no.
I think I should.
Oh no,
I
Max is
need
muted.
everyone to deafen.
Uh-oh.
Oh, everyone?
everyone?
Except
Oh,
Except
'cause
for
it-
Levi.
Oh
Oh.
no.
I thought you were
no.
gonna do a moment that was like strictly for the viewers.
Fuck, how
Never
do I
mind.
deafen on
All right.
Android? Give me like 2 seconds. Okay, there it is.
Goodbye.
No.
R.I.P. that Levi.
Yep, R.I.P. that Levi. Oh no.
Does Orc or Zenith spare another glance to this group?
Yes. Zenith specifically, yeah.
When Zenith looked at this group again, he would recognize a kid.
Oh?
He would specifically recognize the kid that he knew for a fact was soul-bound with Quincy.
Oh. Oh no.
Would you like to do anything, or
Zenith realizing this quickly helps Auric up to the to actually Zenith tells Auric to run up to the room, unlock it, and shut the door.
okay?
In which Auric would quickly do so, and then lock the door right after. And I will say for the viewers, Auric is covering his ears. And then Zenith turns to the table, and I mean, if you want the players to hear Max, you can, because Zenith is going to be kind of straight up with Quincy.
Okay. But we'll see before I tell everyone to undeafen.
Yeah.
Know that whatever you do will be remembered.
I know. And Zenith is going to talk personally. Like that is what he has decided to do. He's not going to
Okay.
attack. Oh shoot.
Consider this a fixed point.
Yep.
Okay, Levi.
So by now, who
People
would be
deafen, by
the
the way.
last people left downstairs?
Zill would probably be one of the last to leave. It probably would have
You would
been. Yeah.
go ahead.
And it will be still at the tavern.
Like, are
Just
you
like still
upstairs
at
or
them
downstairs, practically?
downstairs.
Downstairs? Oh, well, you're also gonna get to see Zenith do this. So first of all, Zill and Riley, you would have seen Zenith send Auric up to his room. And then you see Zenith turn to look at the Leonins for a moment, and he begins to walk up to them.
Um,
And go ahead.
I was gonna say they don't really seem to notice.
And then
Yeah,
Zenith kind
right
of
wouldn't
like
notice either.
clears his throat. Hello, Leonins.
And um, you see a couple turn to you, including like who the person the Leonin that was leading this like jovial whatever.
Um, Zenith does go back to his Leonin tongue for this, as it is a little easier for him to speak in. Um, and he says, one of you here named Quincy.
And Zenith sees the Leonin with her helm on take it off. And she says, that would be me.
I see. Do you remember me at all?
And she looks you up and down and says, I don't remember anything. My apologies.
That's okay. I believe. Never mind. I just recognized one of the kids over there, and that's about it. Apologies. And Zenith begins, like, he starts to step backwards quite a little slowly, and he does begin to turn around after a moment, and he does walk back upstairs, unless he's stopped for any reason.
He's not,
Good.
but it's definitely tense. And then immediately after, like the second basically Zil gets up the stairs, there's an immediate like breakout of "Get the fuck out!"
Zenith could tell that it was her, right? Just by how she
Yes,
looked.
it was 100% her.
Okay. So Zil, you would notice Zenith did not go into his room, perhaps, or at all. He did kind of stay just upstairs for a moment before, outside of the door.
All right, yeah.
Oh, you're so lucky Cree was not there.
But you guys hear it clear, like you guys hear it clear out and it quiet down. And well, I mean, you also hear like what sound be a couple gunshots, but that's besides the point. That's not important. Um, so,
That's our Helga.
but that is where we're ending session.